Hello and welcome back to Western No Story, and today we're discussing the most pressing issue of our times, and that question is opium the new goth slash punk? That's the biggest question of our times. So I'm currently working on a video where I'm talking about goth music, goth fashion, that whole scene of stuff, and I have noticed that there are some interesting but really weird parallels between the whole opium scene with, Playboy Cardi and Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely and all of them, and also the whole goth scene from the 80s and late 70s, 90s. So, of course, the question arises, is opium the new goth? Has it become like, you know, the 2020s version of that? And my answer is kind of, sort of, barely, kind of. So, first of all, the most obvious thing that, connects these two things is that they are both, you know, very dark, gloomy. There is this sort of embrace of what is dark and macabre in both subcultures, in both styles of music. You'll notice a lot of people will see stuff like Gothic cathedrals or people dressed in all black and wearing Rick Owens and go, oh my gosh, that's so opium. You'll look up opium outfits on Google and it's all black and it looks like what I just described. And sometimes it is very obviously inspired by that trad goth 80s look, which is really interesting and kind of weird that has been adopted by this sort of, rap culture. But anyways, there's that. There's this embrace of what's dark and macabre and in both sort of genres. Now I think, and this is not necessarily critique, this is just what I've noticed. I feel like with the whole opium scene, it's more superficial. Like, everyone I know who listens to Destroy Lonely or Playboy Cardi is absolutely convinced that they are Batman or something like that. Which, yeah. But anyway, so that is, just how I view it. I think it is a more superficial and shallow understanding, but there is still this interest in what is more dark and sometimes even supernatural in both styles. And what's even more interesting, and a lot of people don't talk about this, is the weird parallels between the music. So musicians like specifically Destroy Lonely over any of the other ones is known for having a little bit more atmospheric rap music than your average rapper. And it's really interesting to hear that. And like, you'll listen to it and it doesn't really sound like anything you hear in other rap music. And it has those weird parallels between that post-punk, that atmospheric, that gloomy sound. You kind of get a sense of that in Destroy Lonely's music. It's not, super present. It's not like you hearing, you go, oh my gosh, this sounds like Susie and the Banshees. But it's interesting because there is this sense of atmosphere which is not as, common in other styles of rap, and specifically with Destroy Lonely. But anyway, there's that. There's also, I presented the question as, is it not only the new goth, but the new punk? No. So I will say, punk music has been known for being explicitly countercultural and explicitly political. And while I think there is definitely this countercultural thing going on with opium, it's pretty popular in the mainstream, so it's like, I don't know if I would really call it countercultural, and it's definitely doesn't really have any political themes. I mean, I haven't noticed any political themes in the music of Cardi or Destroy Lonely or any of those other rappers, so I would have to say that it is not the new punk. But one thing which I do find interesting is the fact that they have adopted things like mosh pits into their live performances. So there are definitely borrowings from punk music and punk, that whole subculture. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I just thought it would be interesting to talk about something like that. You know, it's something stupid. Well, it's not stupid, but it's like, it's not the most pressing issue in the world, and it's, just kind of a fun thing to talk about. So anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.